You don't belong here. This isn't your house.
Yeah.
I built this house with my own hands.
In the quiet suburb of Willow Ridge Estates, a haven of sprawling lawns and gated drives just outside Dallas, Texas, lived a man named Victor Ramirez. At 52, Victor was a renowned structural engineer whose designs had reshaped city skylines across the Southwest. His home, a sleek fusion of concrete and vast windows, stood out like a bold statement amid the mock Tudor mansions and colonial revivals. It was his pride, built with his own hands after years of climbing from modest beginnings in a border town. But on a scorching July afternoon, as Victor floated in his lap pool celebrating a major contract for a new community center, a shrill voice shattered the calm. "Get out of that pool right now, you trespasser." Little did he know, this intrusion would unearth a buried family secret and expose the ugly underbelly of his upscale neighborhood. Victor had always believed in the American dream, the idea that hard work could carve out a place anywhere. Born to immigrant parents, he'd earned his engineering degree on scholarships, married his college sweetheart Maria, who passed too soon from illness, and built a firm that specialized in sustainable urban projects. Willow Ridge, with its top-rated schools and proximity to the city, seemed perfect when he bought the lot 5 years ago. His house wasn't flashy, it was efficient, with solar panels and a rainwater system that whispered of innovation. Neighbors nodded politely at first, but Victor sensed the undercurrent, the extra glances at his dark hair and olive skin, the way conversations hushed when he approached the community mailbox. From her colonial-style manor next door, Margaret Harrington watched Victor like a hawk. At 58, Margaret was the iron-fisted president of the Willow Ridge Homeowners Association, HOA. She'd married into oil money decades ago and now ruled the neighborhood with a binder of rules she'd helped draft. To her, Willow Ridge was a fortress of old money propriety, where everyone drove luxury SUVs and hosted charity galas. Victor's modern home grated on her. It was too angular, too foreign. In her mind, he didn't five must be the help, perhaps a contractor squatting during renovations. Her binoculars, perched on a lace doily table in her sun porch, confirmed her biases daily. The harassment started small. A cream envelope arrived, citing Victor's xeriscaped garden-native cacti and gravel paths as a violation of traditional landscaping standards. He chuckled, recycled it, and focused on his work. Then came another for his LED porch lights, deemed too industrial, with a $150 fine. Victor paid it quietly, not wanting trouble. But one morning, as he fetched his newspaper in khakis and a polo, Margaret cruised by in her golf cart. "The yard crew should be quieter," she sniffed, eyeing him. "We have noise ordinances." Stunned, Victor realized. She thought he was the landscaper. The insult burned, but he swallowed it for peace. Enter Dr. Elias Thornton, a 72-year-old retired history professor living in a cozy ranch-style home down the block. Elias had noticed Victor's house during construction and admired its clean lines. One afternoon, over iced tea on Victor's patio, they bonded over Frank Lloyd Wright and local lore. Elias warned him, "Margaret's not just nosy, she's a bully hiding behind bylaws. She tried to find me for my bird feeders, called them unsightly. Watch your back." Victor nodded, but the words lingered. The boiling point came on a sweltering Friday. Victor had just sealed the deal on the community Centera glass-domed hub for arts and education in downtown Dallas. Exhausted but triumphant, he dove into his pool, the water a cool escape. Eyes closed, he floated, unaware of Margaret marching onto his property, her floral blouse starched and her face twisted in rage. "I said get out. This is private property, the owners aren't home," she bellowed, phone in hand. Victor surfaced, water dripping from his mustache. "Excuse me? This is my house." Her laugh was venomous. "Don't lie. I know the realtors showed this to a nice family from Austin. You're probably one of those day workers." She dialed security, describing him as Latino, "Looks like a vagrant." Then, with a smirk, "Forget it. When you're done, mow my lawn, it's overgrown. I'll pay you $20. The words hit like a slap. Victor, a man who'd engineered bridges spanning rivers, reduced to a servant in his own yard. Fury rose, but he stayed calm. "Leave now, or I'll call the police myself for trespassing." She retreated, flustered, But the war escalated. Days later, a thick HOA packet arrived, violations galore. His fence was oppressive, his driveway gravel non-conforming. And worst, accusations of running an unauthorized business from home-siting client meetings for the community center. Fines, $8,500, with a lien threat. Margaret's whispers spread at her bridge club. He's bringing down property values with all that traffic. Suspicious types coming and going. Neighbors averted eyes. A black van idled outside his house, snapping photos. Victor felt isolated, his glass walls now prisons. Doubt crept in. Should he sell and move? But Maria's voice echoed, "Fight for what's yours." With Elias's help, Victor dug into history. At the county archives, a dusty building in the old courthouse, they pored over yellowed maps and deeds. Willow Ridge sat on land once called Rancho del Sol Bendito, a 400-acre Mexican land grant from 1839 to Victor's maternal ancestors for aiding in territorial surveys. His great-great-grandmother's name stared back from the faded script. In the 1880s, amid post-war land grabs, the family was coerced into selling for a pittance legal theft by Anglo settlers. The irony scorched. Margaret, whose family arrived in the oil boom of the 70s, was trying to evict a true heir. They built a dossier. Genealogy reports linking Victor directly, expert opinions on the forced sale, timelines overlaying the old rancho on modern Willow Ridge. This wasn't just defense, it was reclamation. Victor designed a sleek presentation, turning faded ink into digital proof. The climax unfolded at an emergency HOA meeting in the clubhouse, a bland room with folding chairs. Margaret, poised at the podium, railed about upholding standards and moved to vote on the fines. Victor rose. "Per your bylaws, I get to speak." Reluctantly, she yielded. Slides lit the screen. The 1839 grant. Maps showing the rancho encompassing her own mansion. Gasps filled the room. "My family owned this land," Victor said evenly. "Pushed out by the same prejudice you're wielding now. You're not protecting tradition. You're repeating history's wrongs." The room erupted in murmurs. Elias clapped first, others joined. Margaret's face paled. She stormed out. Her allies resigned that week. Elias became interim president, fines dropped, apologies issued. Neighbors knocked, the car complimenter with regrets, the jogger with cookies. Willow Ridge shifted, rules relaxed, a plaque planned for the rancho's history. Victor floated in his pool again, sun warm, neighbors waving genuinely. Peace returned, deeper now, tied to roots unearthed. He'd won not just his home, but a reckoning. What do you think about the injustice and prejudice in this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you stand against such biases in everyday life? Express your views. I'd love to hear them.